group play is behind us, and now we are getting set for placement games before the postseason bracket gets fully underway. Brandon Mager and Brendan Glasheen with you for this one. So, Brandon, both of us just chatting pregame. We've both seen this Russia team, a team that's definitely looked improved from their 2014 marking. What should we expect out of France, knowing what Russia has brought to the table so far?
Well, I think the one thing that we'll be looking at France today will be, how will they do on the face-offs? How will they be aggressive on their defense? And most importantly, how will they be able to possession the ball? A lot of teams you see in their first years try to rush it too much or just try to shoot right away.
Opening face-off here in just a moment. Russia in the blue and red uniforms. France in the red and white.
France right now picking up the ground ball, looking to get a clear out there.
Oh yeah, I mixed up my colors. Excuse me. France is in the blue and the red, and Russia is in the white and red. There we go.
France taking their time right here, and that's one of the big things in the FIL. You do not have to rush to clear the ball.
That's right.
Where back in the U.S., you have like about 20 seconds to clear it.
Quickly, a flag down on the field right in front of France's sideline.
Looks like it's going to be a 1-minute penalty on Russia.
Play resumes. Man up for France. As Quentin Norris, 50 in the blue. He came over to get it. They find Norris. He fires, and his shot is chopped.
That was a good play on the Russia's defensive part, getting their stick out there, get a little piece of the ball there.
Circled back up top for France. Here's a shot, bounces wide. Russia has Robert Peters in cage. He was the starter yesterday in the team's game against Peru. Another shot up top, and it's wide.
France really finding their open opportunities today. Russia seems like they're just sloughing in a little too much, giving them enough time and room to shoot. Shot right there for France by number 50.
It's the same guy, Quentin Norris.
Quentin Norris.
He's got that sniping ability up top.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, Norris looks like he's the one that really is more comfortable taking the shot.
Norris runs out of room on the end line. Heaves it to the far side, and on the skip to the door, pass out of reach for Dominique Sandy. Yeah, 2.5 minutes in, no score.
Yeah, that was not a smart play by France. I understand you were trying to get to the skip pass, but take your time. Try to work for the offense. Try to work for the goal. Russia now down on the offensive end. Ball is handled by number 3, Philip.
Chase Philpott.
Chase Philpott. Russia's taking his time right now. Oh, here's a matchup that you would like to see, a shorty on shorty.
Kamen swings it. Pass over to Donnie Howard, who had a 6-goal game last night against Peru. Howard's been very good. He's going to be a senior in high school this coming fall at Mercer Island. He'll be a freshman at Boston University of the Patriot League.
Yeah, Mercer Island, one of those top high school lacrosse programs, really made a name for themselves by being a team like Lakeland Panas, who was a powerhouse in Section 1.
And I had a chance to talk to him after the game and asked him about the competition in the state of Washington. And he said, you'd be surprised. There are a handful of really good programs out there. So the topic of growing the game here these last 10 days in Netanya, the game is growing there for sure. As, man, what a shot there. Howard missing it wide as it nicked off the pipe.
Well, when you look at the game in general, it's growing all over the place. You're looking at countries like the Philippines and Puerto Rico, even Jamaica now really making names for themselves, and Uganda in their second year. You know, they got their first pool win in program history a couple of games ago.
Yeah, those teams you just mentioned got their first ever wins. Luxembourg, another team that acquired that this year. Loose ball might have knocked off some uniform, and there was some pushing and shoving. The heated action already beginning between Russia and France. Still no score.
You know, it's very interesting to see two countries where one is big on hockey and the other one is big on soccer, which just won the World Cup with France. Russia taking its time on the offensive end.
Who'd you have in that game, France or Croatia?
I actually had France winning that.
All right.
Good thing I didn't tell the Croatians that after their game.
Up top for Russia, Chase Philpott. Shorty dashing off the pick. Philpott fires, and the bounce shot flutters in.
Great take by Philpott. You know, he found the opportunity, drove it down the lane. Not really much pressure on there, and a great bounce shot for the goal, giving Russia a 1-0 lead there.
Philpott, 26 years old. He's a midfielder.
Yeah, I was listening to Philpott during the practice before their warm-ups, and he was speaking English and Russian. And his leadership is really giving the confidence for Russia for the next, many years to come.
Not enough can be said about the older players on these teams bringing along the young guys. That's for sure.
It's definitely important because, they're not all going to play forever, and you need that next generation of young athletes for each country to come in and make an impact.
Felix de Leclerc won the face-off with the pole. He leaves the field. And now it's France trying to counter. Down 1-0, 6.5 in. We're in the first quarter in Netanya, the 13th installation of this international lacrosse tournament, the FIL World Lacrosse Championships.
A good defensive pressure there. France coming up with the ground ball. Good drive, good drive. Shot just a bit outside.
And a nice stop in the net by Peters, who was pretty good last night in the team's win over Peru.
I think the more I've watched Peters in the last couple of games, he's improved each game.
Makes the stop there, chest high, and bats it down into the netting. Russia in transition. Roman Booth has it dropped off thanks to the ground ball. Here's a shot that's way over the crossbar, sailing wide.
It seemed like more of a home run ball, if anything.
Nikita Sakrin with the shot.
Here's France now in the offensive end. Ooh. Good defensive play by Russia. Causing the turnover there to throw it out of bounds. Peters with the ball. Taking its time. Looking to make that clear down to their offensive end. So far, it seems like Russia's been playing a little more defense than anything.
Alexander Wheat had it chipped away by France. Scrum for the ground ball at midfield. A lot of ground ball action early. And it belongs to France.
Brendan, it seems like Russia is playing a little more better defense since the first couple of games. They were more inside, not really more trying to push up, where now it looks like they're playing a much better game into the man-to-man field.
Yeah, they struggled to find comfortability in that Peru game. It was a back-and-forth contest. Russia could not score for a bit, but also at the same time could not stop Peru in last night's win. But they went on a huge run, scoring 7 straight goals in the fourth quarter.
Oh, what a save by Peters.
Leaning forward in front of the crease, and he reels it in.
Peters so far is stepping up for his team, trying to keep this game as close as possible. Russia taking its time on the offense.
Eugene Arkhipov with the ball. He'll send it up top. Artur Vencel trying to weave around the pick. Now at midfield after the misfeed. Scrum for it and a whistle. And a hold against Russia. It'll be France possession when we return. Under 10 minutes to go in the first quarter and a 1-0 lead for Russia. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Lacrosse Championships on ESPN Plus and ESPN Player. Play resumes here in the first, 9:30 to go, and a 1-0 lead for Russia in front of France.
Great check there by France. Arthur Smith with that clear over there.
Back the other way, France slows it down. Didier Fardan moving it over the other way.
France trying to look for that matchup to take it to the goal. You know, you'd much rather go against a shorty than a long stick. Here comes France on the shot. Just wide.
Backed up by France. The French should keep it. Try to make something happen from underneath. Nice move towards the goal, but another miss off the end line. Off the pipe, down the end line.
France seems they can't find the back of the net right now. A little scramble there. And still scrambling. Big pickup there by France to keep the ball on the offensive end. And there's a timeout call.
France takes a timeout. We will take it as well. 7:44 to go in the first, a 1-0 lead for Russia. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Championships. $7:44 to go in the first. It's 1-0 Russia. As the games in these World Championships roll on.
Peters taking his time to clear the ball. So far, Peters has been on his head, really making some key stops. His defense is helping him out a ton. If that can happen, I think Russia can pull a little bit of an upset.
Peters coming all the way to midfield to help his team clear.
That was a great clear by Peters. Took his time, looked for the open man, got to his offense. Ooh. Ground ball picked up.
Player down for Russia.
Player down for Russia is Nikai Surkan. Hopefully he'll be all right. It looks like he got up on his own power. Probably just the wind knocked out of him.
Players will stay on the field and will resume momentarily. 7:09 left in the first.
Comes France on the transition. Taken over by in the corner. Oh, looking for the bounce pass there. Couldn't find it. But France is able to pick up the ground ball. Good defense there by Russia.
Off the toes, works out as a pass. The shot from the pole and a score. France has tied it up.
That was a great pickup, step down shot. Hard for a goalie to read a long stick shot.
Even 1-1.
Roman Booth is on the faceoff for Russia.
Arthur Smith with the goal. He's number 33.
That was a great shot by Arthur Smith before. Seems to be France's top defenseman and possibly one of their just top players overall.
No question.
I mean, you see his leadership on the field. He's definitely in command, helping the team where to go, how to slide. And he's not afraid to shoot the ball either. Russia looking for that next matchup. Stolen away by the defense. Penalty to be on the play there.
And a 1-minute body check penalty against Team France.
And if you're France right now, that's not a penalty you should be willing to take. You just played good defense. You just got the ball back. I think that's just a silly penalty. Russia now in control. Looking for the shot.
And a score. Oh, no, hit the back of the net. Mom goal. I got fooled.
I think everyone did on that play.
From our vantage point, the far piece of the net is on the far side of us.
Yep. France throws the ball away again. Oh, these turnovers are killing the French right now. Mike. Look at the hustle by number 16. Arthur
Vencel.
Vencel will pick up the ball there, looking to clear it. Ooh, a push there. No, and there's a flag, a little late on that throw. There's a shot. So there seems to be a push call.
30 seconds on France attackman Kevin Bertrand.
Russia now looking for a quick ball movement.
And a bounce shot from distance goes through for Eugene Arkhipov. 2-1, Russia.
Yeah, that was a great bounce shot there. You know, the difference between the turf and the grass, I think that with the grass field, you get a better opportunity of taking a bounce shot because that ball really spins off compared to some of the turf fields that people play on these days. Roman Booth back on the face-off for Russia. He's won one so far. It looks like this will be his second if he can pick up the ground ball.
France right on the move after the face-off win. And that shot blasted wide. Russia with the win to get the backup.
That was big, and that's one of the other key factors in lacrosse is always being closer to the ball, try to either keep it on that end or pushing it down to the other side of the field. Ooh, good check there by France's defense. By Lester.
Booth still with the ball. Now he gives it up to Dmitry Kamen.
Kamen showing some speed.
Lost the handle as he tiptoed near the crease. Almost broke up the pass. Now the pole sizzles it over to midfield. Nice dish by Jesse Shedutal. And a shot. The bouncer sneaks through. France adds another. Kevin Bertrand makes it 3-1.
You see how Bertrand there just showed a little hitch on that play. Drove towards the goal with a beautiful bounce shot to take the lead 2-1 for France.
.30 seconds.
My apologies, folks. The score is 2-2.
2-2. I was wrong, too. I thought it was 3-1. 2-2.
Oh, big win there by Booth. But there's a legal procedure call.
France has 10 seconds to get off a shot. Right off the bounce. They're telling him to shoot. He fires, and a save once again by Peters. We've reached the end of one at Wingate Field 3 in Netanya, tied 2-2, France and Russia. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Championships. Tied 2-2 as we get set to begin the second quarter between Russia and France.
Another legal procedure by Russia's Booth. You know, he should be lucky because if you get 3 in the U.S., that's a penalty.
That's why after 2, sometimes they switch up the face-off men. Or use a rotation.
That is true. If you saw today's game with China, they had 2 solid guys that were just rotating and they were dominating on the face-off X.
A lane violation against France. So a 30-second man up for Russia with a tie game, 2-2.
This is a huge opportunity for Russia right now with just 30 seconds. They can move the ball quick, find that shot they're looking for. It could be a good sign for them. Russia's taking its time on the offense. Moving the ball around really nicely. Ooh, France with a perfect defensive play right there.
Arthur Smith, the defenseman who has scored today. He's got the pole. He can do a little bit of everything.
And now Smith pushing down in transition.
Now at midfield, ripped away once again by Howard. Donnie Howard has yet to score in this one, but tends to be a second-half guy. He gets going.
This kid so far is showing, I mean, he can definitely be a two-way midfielder. And he's going to be a senior in high school, you said?
That's right.
Oh, if I'm a college coach, I am watching him right now on national TV.
He's committed, though. He's a committed player to BU.
Well, wow. That's a huge, I think that's a big steal for Boston University then. And that's a program that's really shot up in the last couple of years. And they play in a tough conference with the Patriot League.
And he's still got another year of high school. I mean, things could certainly change. But talking to Donnie last night, I asked him if the interest from those other schools coming from the Big Ten in the ACC, and he said, nope, I'm sold on BU. Big reason why, those Patriot League academics that are on the table, especially at BU. As you mentioned, one of the better programs, one of the better improving programs in the league.
Oh, I mean, when you get the opportunity to go to a school in the Patriot League, I mean, I feel there's no second to none. You get to play at schools like Army, Navy, Boston University, Loyola, who's won a national championship, and Lehigh. I mean, what more can you ask for?
No doubt. Howard's got some room. He fires wide.
Love how Howard's aggressiveness there, never giving up on the shot, just missing the net there. Surkoff with the ball right now. Going right back to Howard. This kid, I love this kid's confidence at such a young age. Comes that slide for France. And it's stolen away by France's keeper.
Zaharchenko is going to jump on it. 9 for Russia.
Has a good ride there by Russia to get the ball back. And here's Howard on the play. Howard making his move to the goal. Going back to his left. Back to his right. The shot. Just over the goal. A little pushing and shoving over there between Howard and one of the French players. Good defensive pressure there. France in control now. Oh, it looks like there's going to be a penalty on the play, and a big save by Peters.
He has been a wall so far that's been barely breakable. And I think he made a good point. I think it has to do a lot with what's happened last night, and each game he's gotten steadily more comfortable and better.
I think one of those games where I thought he really stood, or I thought he kind of stood out in the beginning of the game, was against Israel. You know, he was facing a lot of shots. He was seeing a lot of defensive time, but you know, he was proving that, like, hey, I'm here to play. So whatever you shoot at me, I'm ready for you.
Bounce shot wide.
Thought Peters had the backside to that there. Refs saw it differently. France with the ball. Looks like Arthur Smith wants to get another shot with that big pole. You know, I've noticed in this tournament, a lot of long poles are playing man up in these games. Oh, and here comes that shot.
Oh, man, another laser beam from outside. Arthur Smith, the pole with his second to make it 3-2 France.
He's got some type of shot, and his leadership and defensive ability. France should be grateful having him in this game. There's Booth again coming on the face-off for Russia. against Kevin Bagels. And Bagels picks up the ground ball, but just loses it. A little loose scramble there. France now in control.
I'll tell you, I'm impressed with France, the Poles, of course, in Arthur Smith and that ability to have that shot ability, and he's doing a little bit of everything, but also their ball movement has been pretty good.
Yeah, no, definitely.
On display once again, Dylan Snyder with a rip and a finish.
Yeah, that's what you were just saying before. France was moving the ball perfectly. Schneider be on the backside, getting the ball, getting the good shot there. And yeah, no, I agree. France seems like a very, very good offensive team when they move the ball and share the rock well. And to have a defense like they have, they could get this W if they play, smart lacrosse, no penalties, nothing crazy, and just playing their game. And another face-off win for France. Right now, the push calls are really hurting Russia, keeping it on their end of the field. France taking its time.
It's Paul Lefevre. Midi out of Durham University. It's Dominique Sandy getting the feed inside, but the shot stopped. Lefevre stopped.
Oh, what a play by Peters. He just stood big, stepped towards the ball. What a great save. Chase Philpott going towards the goal. There's a shot saved by the France keeper. Another penalty there for France. That'll be another 30-second penalty. Brendan, it seems like Russia seems to be a little aggressive in this game, going towards the goal more.
Yeah, definitely, compared to what they did yesterday against Peru. There has been a change in philosophy. And they're probably a better team when Brown is not doing it all because, well, that just makes more room for Brown. Or, pardon, for Donnie Howard.
Yeah, no, definitely. You want other guys to shoot the ball. You want other guys to get better. You can't just rely, on Howard, especially for him being a young high school kid still.
No doubt about it.
France playing an excellent man down there. With now a penalty being released. Great ball movement there.
Joseph Varlela is in net for France. Timeout on the field, 9:53 to go in the first half, 4-2. France, after trailing 1-0 early, has scored 4 of the last 5 goals. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Lacrosse Championships. Second quarter continues after the Russia timeout. Chase Philpott directing the offense, number 3 in the white.
Russia taking its time right now. Philpott gets the ball. Splits to his right. No shot there. Philpott, one of the guys on the team. Here comes Howard now. Howard taking his time here.
Cameron getting pressured and the ball knocked away out of his grasp. Here comes France, left to right.
France doing a really good job on the defensive there. Shot and wide. I'm really liking this Russia being more aggressive on the defense today. They're being aggressive. They're playing out. Ooh, look at the fancy move by Howard.
And how about this? This is a first for me, at least, during this tournament. There was a drone flying above the stadium.
That's the second
time. Can we get the camera on the drone to see what we're talking about? There's the drone.
There's the drone.
That is why play has stopped.
You know, that's the second time that's happened in this tournament.
Okay, you've seen it already once.
I did. Happened at Field 1. They had I think it was the Russia game that they had to stop. I think it was Russia-Israel.
You can see the two guys playing with it over there. Can you believe this? Like, this is what we're doing now in 2018. A referee says, "Wait, drone," in a game. It's amazing. When you really think about it, it's amazing.
It's amazing. It's silly, and it's
given the roots of this sport we call lacrosse. You know, started by the Native Americans way back in the day, and we're talking about drones above fields during a championship. It's amazing.
It truly is. Truly is.
Just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah, God. You know, speaking of the Native Americans, I think what's so unique is that the Iroquois was able to come out here for the games, and it's been a joy. I think every fan, every player is just excited seeing them. They're very humble. They love playing this sport, and, you know, it's their medicine game. It's their religion to them.
No question.
And here's Arthur Smith on the ground ball. That's another ground ball. It looks like Smith looks like he wants to score another goal here. And, Brendan, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's been a lot of long poles playing man up in this tournament. You know, China's had a couple with their guys. You've had, I think Lafayette saw a game where they threw that. So it's really showing how much the athletic ability of the long stick has grown over the last 20 to 30 years.
Shot knocked out. Nice night so far in goal for Peters.
Howard on the ground ball.
Howard's yet to score today, and he spears one wide.
You know, this kid is showing like how he has the heart of a lion. You know, he's really trying to make an impact for his team. You know, he's riding, he's playing defense, he's playing offense. You know, what more can you ask from this kid? You heard the coach there telling his team to move the ball. That's one of the big important things in lacrosse. You want to be a team player. You want to move the rock around, find that opportunity. Just like that. What a goal.
Dominique Sandy with the finish.
You saw Dominic there wide open, no one covering him, cutting down towards the lane. A perfect pass and a perfect finish. France now up 5-2. Let's see if Russia can get something going on the face-off with Booth. Another big face-off win for France. Bagels with that win, but loses the turnover there. Russia has the ball now, looking to get something going. Good ball movement right now. A very interesting matchup. Russia taking its time.
Cabin circles the bottom of the cage.
You want this matchup of shorty on shorty, like I said before in the broadcast. Good defensive there by Arthur Smith.
Under 3 to go in the half now. 3-0 run by France to go up 5-2.
Well, here's a stall warning call.
Bounce shot wide. Russia does get there to back it up. What do you think they're looking for?
I think they're just looking to get one here before halftime. You know, if you want to build a confidence, so if you can score, make it a 2-goal, possibly 1-goal game, you're thinking to yourself, hey, we're in this game, we can compete. Let's try to get something here going. I noticed, too, the French defense is throwing a lot of, slides early. We're at the 2-minute mark.
And Russia has taken a timeout. Still with possession, 1:57 to go in the first half. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Lacrosse Championships. Minute 50 left in the first half. Russia just took a timeout, down by 3. A 3-0 run in the moment right now for France. So Russia, as Brandon said, trying to get something going.
Yeah, Howard there with a good shot, trying to go low to low, stick side, just missing the cage. Oh, that was a lucky catch there. Oh, here's that matchup you want, the shorty on shorty. Just a bit high. Russia's got to keep it in now. They got to get a goal here with almost under a minute left.
Under a minute to go in the second quarter.
Good defense there. Oh, that's very unfortunate for Russia to step out of the box and keep possession time. And now Arthur Smith with the ball. Here comes Arthur looking to push it down. And France throws it out of bounds. Russia picks up the ball. Keeping it downfield.
Two seconds to work with, and a shot will not get off. First 40 minutes are in the books, and France has taken a 3-goal lead on a mini 3-0 run. to end the first 40 minutes of play. We'll step aside and come back for the second half. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Lacrosse Championships. France in front of Russia, 5-2. And a player down right after the opening faceoff. Second half underway. We're just going to pause on the action for a moment.
Okay, we are back here live at the FIL Lacrosse World Championships. Is up now 5-2 over Russia. And a big defensive play by Russia, and Peters picks up the ball. Peters looking for... Sorry, ladies. Russia now on the offensive end, looking to make something happen. And there's the goal for Russia.
Nice finish by Chase Philpott again.
It's the second goal of the game. That was a big goal. That's something Russia really needed. And look at this, Brendan. We have Howard now taking the face-off.
Change in scenery after the injury to the face-off man from earlier.
This kid's doing everything. Oh, big legal procedure for Russia now with the ball on their offensive end. Howard looking to make something happen. Good there by Howard. Going back to his right. Spins back to his left. Howard looking for time and space. Big save. France now coming down with the ball, looking for the shot. Can't tell if that ball went in the back of the net or not.
Personnel changes on both sides.
Looks like the goal is going to count. It looks like there might be a hole in the net, Brendan, because that ball looked like, I didn't think that ball went in. Oh, big play there by Peters. Oh, looks.
Two guys are coming off the field, one from France and one from Russia. For France, it's Kevin Bertrand, one of their attackmen, and Alexei Sukhanov coming off for Russia. Some unsportsmanlike conduct on the left side of us.
This game looks like it could get very chippy That's the last thing you want from either team being a 3-goal game. Peters now with the ball looking for the clear. Good fake there. Nice catch. Russian coming down, looking for the play. Stolen away by France. France coming down. Big goal. Off the steal, into transition. No one came up. Goal scored by
Remy Giacoto. So now it's 7-3.
Big ground ball for France. That was a perfect way for them to get to the ball. The face-off man got the clamp, got it to his wing side. He was able to stay with it, getting it to his goalie. Now that Russia has to ride, hopefully France can get it down to the offensive end. France gets the ball there. Dylan Schneider with the ball. Back to Schneider. Schneider being one of their top guns in this game. Schneider coming down lefty. With a pass and a shot. Just a bit high.
Players are going down left and right. A player down for Finland. Body check, so it's a penalty against Russia. We'll take the break. 7-3, 14:35 left in the third. 7-3 to score. It's man up for France, up by 4 goals already. They reset the offense. Nice dodge, the shot, score. France feeling it. Kevin Bertrand putting it in. A nice twist around to pocket that shot.
You saw how he got the ball, how he had the ball. He did a nice, beautiful face dodge, kept his time, put the ball over the goalie's shoulder, giving France that 8-3 lead.
Remy Giacoto at the face-off X now for France. And he scoops it up. France in control here in the third, 8-3. This field gets very dark quickly, doesn't it?
It really does, especially with, the lights and... Oh, well, pipe shot. 2 pipes in a row, Brendan. Peter sitting on his head there.
France looking to keep it going. On the door, bounces off the pipe. And now it's even strength. Russia's player back on.
And you see France right now really controlling the game on the offensive end, making Russia really have to play out on D, and they are starting. And I think Russia's starting to get tired. If they can keep doing this, I think France is going to put on a lot more goals.
Quentin Norris with the kick out. He's got it. Shot. Misses wide.
White gets the ball back after that push call.
And Russia has decided to take a timeout. We will too. 8-3 in the third quarter. You're watching the FIL World Championships on ESPN+.
We can definitely talk about what this world game is. It's amazing how this sport has really grown in so many different countries. Countries like Uganda, Puerto Rico, Korea, the Philippines. I would love to see some type of tournament in the near future where you can have an Asian Pacific tournament or maybe a Copa America Euro tournament, adding some of the Spanish teams against each other.
That'd be something. You know, even something like putting this together was a huge accomplishment.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you had, England was the original host team. There's some stuff that happened that they couldn't host, and Israel, a year ago won the bid. And I think what they've done in the last year has been an unbelievable thing, and I think they've done an excellent job hosting and doing everything they can to provide for all the players and their families and coaches.
Want to remind you that Trusted Choice is the official insurance partner of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Protect what matters most from business to home, auto, and life. Trusted Choice independent insurance agents are there for you when disaster strikes. Go to TrustedChoice.com to find a local agent today. And today's game is also brought to you by Corum Watches. Since 1955, Corum has adopted creativity and boldness as its guiding principles. Corum, the official timekeeper of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Learn more about Corum at www.corum-watches.com. So play resumes. 7-3, France. Not 8-3. 7-3.
Could have sworn, and the score was 8-3 after that last goal.
Maybe that was what the discussion was about. A miscalculation in goals. Well, nonetheless, the half continues. We're in the third quarter. Looks like Russia's trying to set up a wheel play. Here's a shot to the top corner. And a score. Despite that lengthy break, Chase Philpott puts one home to cut the deficit to 3.
You see how he made that move, took a nice sidearm off stick onto the goal. He is right now their guy trying to get to the ball in the net and keeping Russia in this game against France. New face-off guy in again for Russia, number 8.
Denis Mikhailvosky is at the face-off dot, number 8 in the white. Feet on the doorstep, too easy. France with the score, no crease violation for that one to go through, and both players are banged up. Both the goalie, Peters, and the goal scorer, I'm trying to catch the number. He went down pretty quickly after the shot. It might be Bertrand. Nope, that's Bertrand standing up over the player. And it's Alexander Morgaze who is down.
Morgaze, though, had a great finish. Good ball transition. Nice little quick stick on the low side. Peters just couldn't come up with that save.
Got to think it's starting to catch up with some of these players. We're in day number 8 of these championships, of games being played. And now they're checking the stick of the injured player.
That's a new thing. I've never seen that before. After a goal, too.
Well, it's just a stick check.
Trying to see if the stick is legal from the stick shaft to the head to the pocket as well.
The pocket can be 2 inches deep. And now France can sarcastically celebrate because there's nothing wrong with the stick.
Especially it being a Warrior Evo head that is creatively for that purpose.
And the France fans to our left yelling, scoreboard, since the team is up 7-4.
And the score really should be 8-3.
Well, now they fix it. I thought that's what the discussion was earlier. After the infraction by France, it is Russia ball. So the score is 8-4.
Russia's really got to get something going. Down by 4. Their defense has played a lot of minutes. They need to find a way to get the ball in the back of the net, and they need to take care of the rock. Here's Chase Philpott. He has 3 of Russia's goals today.
On the dodge, he had a tight window to feed. Clean hit the other way, and now France can clear. Nice feed up top.
Oh, what a snipe by Arthur Smith.
Smith putting it home. That's a hat trick for him.
You saw how he caught the ball with a beautiful step down. No one coming up to get the stick on his hands. There's nothing you can do in that scenario. That was a great goal by Arthur Smith.
Timeout on the field. 9:12 to play in the third. It's now 9-4 France. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Championships. France is on top by 5. Today's game brought to you in part by Signature Lacrosse. Signature, a company built by the players for the players, focused on revolutionizing the progression of the game. Follow Signature Lacrosse on Instagram at Signature Lacrosse to stay up to date on product releases like Magic Mesh, the longest lasting, strongest, and #1 performance mesh in the game. Under 9 minutes to play in the third. It's a 5-goal lead for France. Now, what does Russia have to do to get back in this thing other than score?
They have to play better defense. They have to come up with ground balls, and they need to possess the ball. That is the big factor right now in this game. I feel like Russia, whenever they're possessing, they're taking shots that shouldn't be taken. You know, you need to create the ball for the offense. And I think right now Russia's playing a little more defense than they are offense.
Quick shot on the way down the lane, and to score, Remy Giacoto putting it in.
You see how Remy was coming down the lane, the long stick poked it out. He was able to get a face dodge in, go right through them, scoring the goal. You know, if you're a defenseman, the biggest factor is you don't want to throw the poke check out there. You want to put your body in front of him. You want to push him out of GLE. Throwing that poke up, especially up by the midfield, is not a good move for Russia there.
This one's starting to get a little out of hand. 6-goal game. What does Russia have in it? Just got word from, you did at least. You just got word from the Wingate Field 1. Canada just beat Team Iroquois by, what was it, 15-4?
15-4, yes.
Wow. How about that? We were expecting a lot tighter game. It was 6-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, I guess Canada had a game plan set in stone, and they capitalize on it. They're the real deal. This Canadian team, they're a lot younger. You got guys like Zach Courier, guys like Wesley Berg, and you got a veteran like Brody Merrill. I mean, what more can you ask for? And Dylan Ward, who's been an animal in the goal in this tournament.
You could argue that Ward is the MVP of these World Games so far, the way he's played for Canada.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the last time he played Iroquois, he had 27 saves. 17 of them in the first quarter.
And a score, another one for France. Nice finish down on the doorstep by Jared Baumeister.
Yeah, Jared came around nice. The slide didn't come in time. Just puts the ball in the back of the net. And another face-off win by France. And a penalty call on the play. Russia on the man up now with 30 seconds left. Stolen away by Arthur Smith. And now Russia getting the ball back into play.
Russia trying to get something going here on the other end.
They played a whole lot of defense before, trying to get something going here, being down 11-4. They gotta be patient, or at this point, just start moving the ball as fast as possible to get to that guy. And this is the matchup I like to see.
Even with the shorty, still no room to breathe here for Russia on offense. With under 4 minutes now to go in the third.
Another blue shirt there to pick up the ground ball.
But back the other way is Russia. Two flags in, and now with the play stopped, they can move it along. 6-on-4 for Russia. Now in transition, this talented Pole and Arthur Smith, who does have a hat trick. Looking to avoid offsides.
Yeah, Arthur Smith definitely France's best player. He's been all over Russia's attackman. He's been playing great defense, and he's able to score 3 goals. I would call that a pretty good night. Arthur Smith on with the ball.
Shot hit wide off the fence from behind. 11-4. France all over Russia. This game was tied 2-2 at one point. 9 of the last 11 scored by France. Oh, nicely done with the stick control and a score. It's been all France. Kevin Bertrand adding another. He's got a few tonight, and now it's 12-4.
Yeah, Bertrand had a really nice move there. Spun her around, made sure that the ball was in the goal before falling in the crease. Giving France now the 12-4 lead.
With about 1 minute left.
Russia there on the legal procedure call. Face-off.
And another score. The face-off man with the finish. And it's all smiles. Kevin Bangel with the score.
You saw Bangel looking at the face-off man, talking to the referee, and as he was walking towards the ref, Bangel saw the opportunity, went full speed, on the run. Beautiful goal there.
And the third quarter has come to a close. We'll make the turn for home. Fourth quarter starts after the break. 12-4, France in front of Russia. You're watching the 2018 FIL World Lacrosse Championships. Action against France. So it is Russia possession. Up by 9. France has been on a roll since really the second half got going.
Yeah, France really got the ball rolling. They're doing everything that Russia can't do right now. They're putting the ball in the back of the net. They're moving the ball really well. Their defense is playing very aggressive. And their goalie has even come up with a couple big saves just to keep it at this type of game.
We'll see if Russia can make a run. It would have to start soon.
It would have to start right here and right now.
Dmitry Kamin with the feed and the score. From the outside, it's Eugene Arkhipov.
Yeah, Eugene caught that ball and right away just took a beautiful bounce shot going stick side. And that's something I think Russia really needed.
Eight-goal game here in the fourth. Chippiness really took over that third quarter. But France pulled away because its scorers have been ferocious. They've been terrific. I mean, including the Pole that we've both been impressed with. in Arthur Smith.
Yeah, he definitely was the catalyst of that scoring power. Once he scored, the entire offense got it going, and that was something France, I think, really needed. They needed some type of spark, and for your defenseman to have 3 goals tonight, it's not only impressive, it's something that can really unite a team together.
In tight, a shot and a score. France comes right back to halt any type of momentum from Russia. And was that Paul Lefevre? It was close. A lot going on in there.
Yeah, he made a beautiful cut in the crease, made a great catch, and just quick sticked it right in there. Yeah, and if you think of it, every time Russia does score, try to get an answer back, France just shuts the door down very quick.
Back the other way. There's a fight for the loose ball. You love to see the hustle out of France.
Well, yeah, even though France is up by a comfortable lead, they're thinking to themselves, hey, this game's not over. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep playing. And we got to keep showing that we want to continue to be here. And lots of stick checking and hard hitting tonight.
A lot of communication near the crease. They try to set up.
France really coming out. They're communicating, they're talking. Their defense is playing aggressive right now. They do not want any type of spark there for Russia.
Now from behind the cage. Philpott works his way. To Sorokin. Common coming off the pick, working middle. And cross check against France, so a man-up opportunity here for Russia.
That's one of the things tonight that's really hurt Russia are penalties. Or penalties. And even when France has gotten the man down, they've found ways to prevent Russia from scoring.
Let's see its execution on the man up. Here's a shot and a score. Nicely done from the outside. A nice bullet shot from Russia's Artur Wenzel. Nice execution on the man up.
Yeah, no, he made that great split from his right to his left. Took a shot in the head by the stick, but way to finish the goal on the off stick.
It's now 14-6. Little noise being made here by Russia.
Russia is a young team. I think they have a couple years before they can really make a push for not even the blue division, but just being better as a lacrosse team. They're new to it. You and I both know when you think of Russia, you're thinking hockey, or you're thinking soccer. But I believe with this sport, Russia can really at some point become a team to watch out for.
Got some nice, good high school players on this team. We've talked about Michael Zaharchenko. He's at IMG Academy.
One of the top high school teams in the country. A recent graduate that everyone knows about is Tohoka Nanako, who is now at Albany, finished a great freshman year, finishing with 50 goals and 32 assists in his first year.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad for a freshman in his first year, and also being the #1 recruit in the country going in.
Right, that pressure, and got all the way to the Final Four, so plenty of press along the way for an Albany team that was #1 at one point during the regular season.
And a team that had also knocked off the team that prevented them from going to the Final Four this season when they beat Maryland 12-11.
Upended by Yale in the Final Four, the Bulldogs national champions.
Probably one of the best defensive units I saw this year. And also being led by leading the Yale defense was a freshman named Chris Figgs from Yale. Every game I saw him play, Coach Shea was like, "Yeah, I need you to play on the top attackman," and he held his own against probably some of the best players in the country too, as a freshman, which is really impressive.
We have a timeout on the field. 12:30 left in the fourth. We'll come back for more fourth quarter action. It's 14-6, France on top of Russia. Fourth quarter continues. And it's been all France. Well, we've been talking about the tournament as a whole. What are some storylines that you're looking forward to? Of course, there's a lot of hype with the Blue Division and how it's all going to fall out. Israel playing with Japan right now. That's a one-goal game at the moment. Japan is up 7-6. So Japan came to play in this thing, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely, and that's one of the most disciplined teams I saw in this tournament. The way they move the ball, the way they play defense, the way they are winning the face-offs. They were in the Blue Division once before, and that was kind of like a slap in the face that they weren't in it this year. So they're trying to prove, like, hey, we're back and we're ready to play in that division.
Yeah, we'll see how that one plays out. That's for sure. And then, of course, USA taking on Australia. They know now the Aussies or the United States, they're going to play Canada in the gold medal game. The winner of that game coming up at 9 p.m. local time. And Russia, France, tacks on another.
You look at that game, and there's so many things that Australia would need to do to beat the United States. One of the factors, 50-50 on the face-off X. When you have two face-off guys and, Greg Grenlian, the Beast, and Trevor Baptiste, you got to be game plan ready as a face-off guy. For Australia, their defense has to also play big, and I think Cam Robinson's got to be that leader, that vocal guy to keep Australia in this game, because that's a high-power offense when you got guys like Rob Pennell, Matt Danowski, Ryan Brown, Rob Pennell. The list goes on, and also the big factor also is John Galloway has played a heck of a tournament, but when you lose your backup goalie in Kelly, That's a tough one because that's the last thing you need is for the United States to lose their top goalie.
Yeah, and the Denver Outlaws actually, the head coach B.J. O'Hara commenting on that today, or what's today's date? Thursday, yesterday, that they're hoping for the best, but there is certainly an awareness factor that there could be something serious. So hopefully everything is all right on Jack Kelly's end. We wish him a speedy recovery either way. Another score. France is just rolling. 16 goals. Another one scored by Lefebvre. Take the timeout. 9:36 to go here in the fourth. 15-6 France in the FIL World Championships.
We are back live at the FIL Lacrosse World Championships. France being up 16-6. And a little live update. Japan right now is beating Israel by the score of 10-8. And that is the right to be in the blue division. Russia losing the pass. They're out of bounds. France is really coming away with this game. They're doing the little things. They're picking up ground balls. They're getting the ball in the back of the net. And they're just going over Russia's defense, who's struggled this whole game. Hello.
And we have a whistle at midfield. Something is going on at midfield here. Trying to get themselves organized. .8:30 left.
Good look. Couldn't handle the ball, though. Peters with the ball. Big pickup there for Russia.
So you said Japan was winning still?
Yes, 10-8.
10-8 in the fourth?
Yes. And one of the updates I heard is Schneider is not playing his best game right now. Only 4 saves in that game.
No kidding.
He was kind of like that at Hopkins. There were games he was super hot, and then there were games he was super cold.
So in this case, tomorrow we'd have the Iroquois playing the loser of that game? As far as the... no, I'm wrong. Australia, USA, loser plays in that game tomorrow. That's right. For the bronze medal.
Yes.
You're thinking about so many different things in this tournament, and you forget to keep it simple sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially having this many teams in the tournament alone.
Right.
But I gotta tell you, the one team I'm actually really impressed with this year has to be Puerto Rico. You know,
what a run.
What a run. You know, they came in here, you know, no one knew what they were. They didn't know what type of team they had. You look at their roster and you're thinking to yourself, like, hey, they got some guys here that are playing D1 or played in the MLL, and it was an unbelievable run. And even upsetting Japan, I thought, was one of the huge factors for them.
Nice finish from the outside. Team Russia's Daniel Vyasenko with the finish.
Vyasenko had a great overhand shot getting right. It looked like it went right through the goalie's 5-hole. But back to the Puerto Rico thing, you know, you look at guys like Thomas Rodriguez. He was a big defenseman and his buddy Jose Boyer, both being from Yorktown Heights, probably one of the biggest lacrosse schools in the state of New York. You had a guy like Scott Beta, played at Rutgers as part of 2 of their big wins over Hopkins, just missing the tournament that year. And there's so many guys in that team that you look at and you're like, oh, I've heard of this guy and I've heard of this guy.
Ball flutters out of bounds. And France will look to work the other way again. Up by 9, 5:20 to go. What are you looking forward to most as far as what Saturday could entail? I mean, USA, the heavy favorites coming up again. That's about 10 minutes from now. It's also a national TV game, so check it out on ESPNU, I believe, or the ESPN family of networks. Watch ESPN app. How are you feeling as far as what's in store for that game? And if it is indeed USA-Canada, a rematch, we're hearing Latrell Harris of Canada actually said post-game that he wants a rematch. I mean, who wouldn't?
I mean, after a game like that where it was such a close game, the physicality of it, you saw the rivalry emerge from those two teams. And, USA is also going to be prepared because if you remember in that game, they called out on Greg Renlin's stick that ended up being illegal, which got them the ball back with the short times
on a man up.
So now you're thinking, if you're USA and you're going to that final, like, hey, we got to make sure every equipment is legal because that could be a key factor in that championship game.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Before we can talk about that, the one thing I have to say, Australia's got to play a complete game, like I said before. 50-50 on the face-off X. Their defense has to play the best in their tournament. And the offense has to just keep moving like they did against Israel.
We'll have to see how it plays out. That's for sure. That bounce shot goes wide.
Chase Philpott has really taken over for his team. He's never giving up during this game. He's always going to the goal. He's always getting those ground balls, and he's even throwing some of those big hits.
Still giving it his all here. Most teams will have one game to go tomorrow. The winner of these games tonight, so Canada is off tomorrow, and USA would be off tomorrow. Nice outside shot. Russia can go up and congratulate Eugene Arkhipov. He's continuing to have a nice game.
Yeah, Eugene had a nice roll dodge there, back to his strong hand. Freaking a filthy rip on the top corner.
As we go to the dot, France and Russia.
I kind of want to see how that Australia-USA game is going to be.
Yeah, it was pretty lopsided the first time. Three minutes left.
Russia pushing up with the transition now. For a team that's down 16-8 right now, they're not giving up in this game. Arthur Smith throwing some lumber right now. I got to say, if I had to pick my player of the game today, it's got to be Arthur Smith.
Yeah, he set the tone from the get-go. .210 coming up again. The championship game will be played. The gold medal game will be played at Netanya Stadium.
That's going to be an exciting game to watch. Whether it is USA, Canada, or possibly Australia, Canada. It's going to be a great game to have at Netanya Stadium. We already start previews of, 4 teams that played there already. 2 of them being Israel, Jamaica, and the Iroquois versus USA game, where Iroquois, even with the whole flight issue stuff, they came in and they gave it US a bit for a run of their money in the beginning.
No doubt.
Good clear there by France.
Now we're coming up on a minute to play. Well, France with some nice momentum going into their last game tomorrow.
Update, we got a 10-9 score in the Japan-Israel game, Japan being up by 1 goal. Sorry, everyone, my fault, I misread that. Japan beats Israel 10-9. France picks up that ground ball. Next game coming up after this will be Mexico versus Uganda. Should be an interesting game between those two, wouldn't you say, Brendan?
No question. No question. Mexico and Uganda, both teams fired up. Uganda, one of those fun teams going on right now, participating in this tournament, especially with their connections with Jamaica. Those two teams have been fun to see together, not on the field, but mostly off the field as well.
You see that bond that they have together, and you even see their slogan together that says "One Love." One team, one family. Even rivals can become friends.
France with the win, 17-8, and they defeat Team Russia.